We got this pockets flow. It's me and Zoe on the mics. We gotta let you know of current events, little gaming, sprinkle in some entertainment. We stay humble, but our mom still thinks we're famous. Turn up the bass and baby, maybe let that magic flow. Our spoken word is all the things you really wanna know. Having a good time on the show, T-Bows and Matty G. Tune in and hit subscribe and join us on the FAP.
Welcome, everybody, to the Freaking Awesome Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Bowes, and of course, next to me is actress Shannan Wilson. Shannan, thank you very much for joining us on the show today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
We normally have, of course, our co-host, Matty G, who cannot make this episode, but he definitely sends his regards, and hopefully we can carry the show alone without him today.
We can only hope.
Yes. Excellent. Now, before we get into to too much, let's talk about today's news.
Okay.
This is so with everything that is, of course, going down in the U.S., there was the headline on this particular article is "Woman in labor makes her husband stop at elections office so she can vote first." That is some dedication and some patriotic duty right there. Let me tell you. They basically the mother definitely knows her responsibilities, and one of them for this pregnant Florida woman fulfilled both on Tuesday when she stopped to vote on her way to the hospital to before giving birth. According to her, she had already gone into labor by the time she arrived at the Orange County Supervisors of Elections. And when the local spokes, basically person had talked to her, the poll worker, we won't put her name in, but the woman had basically asked her husband if they wanted to stop and vote on their way to the hospital, which of course was about a half a mile away. The wife reported that she waited in the car while her husband went inside, waited in line, and asked all the poll workers to help her wife vote early. They were all quite happy to oblige, and of course, she is. They were quite excited, of course, with the mother stopping to, of course, vote before having her baby. So I gotta say, you know you've got to be dedicated to making a change when you have to tell your baby you're gonna wait until I'm ready or until this country gets a little better. So
yeah, it's that is pure dedication. That was the right word for it.
Yeah.
And determined.
Yes. You know, if everybody could put a little bit of effort in, even a fraction of what she just did, and get out there. I mean, let's be honest. If a pregnant woman can stop on her way through labor, you can get off your couch and go and vote.
Everybody can do that. I love voting. It's something I just always have loved doing, even in minor elections. I mean, no election's really minor, but even in, local elections, people fought and died for those rights. And there's people all over the world that would give anything to be able to do that. So I like this lady. I'd have a beer with her.
Yes, I would totally sit and definitely would love to know more of like what was going through her mind at the time. So I have another quick one here, and the article on this one, it's I don't even know if it's so much funny, but it was definitely eye-catching. The article reads: California police seeks shirtless man and bikini-clad woman after American flag hat snatched from Trump supporter.
Wait, okay, so they snatched the hat?
They snatched the hat.
The shirtless guy and the bikini-clad woman took the hat from the person, the MAGA hat? Yes. And then the California police arrested them, or?
Well, let's see it. It basically says that okay, so California police were on the hunt in Santa Barbara for a beachgoer accused of battering a Trump supporter on Saturday who was seen alongside the bikini-clad women saying, "Dump Trump." The shirtless man allegedly harassed numerous citizens on the beach and passing motorists before attacking a victim and swiping his red hat and American flag. It happened during a pro-Trump auto parade, but it was unclear as whether or not the victim was part of the parade. There was a video out there that shows the altercation of the suspect being basically rude gestures to passing cars, and at one point he takes the flag and the hat from the victim and tosses the flag on the ground and put the hat on his head. Now, I got some mixed messages about this.
Yes.
If you are saying dump Trump, and then you're basically putting on a Trump hat, like it is,
And then throwing the flag on the ground, which is just so rude.
That's just disrespectful, and no matter which party you were going for, it's just disrespectful.
Yes.
So,
and then you put the hat on. Yeah, you're supposed to throw that. Hold up the flag and throw the hat on the ground if that's what your intent is.
I feel like he was confused.
He was.
Maybe being shirtless in the sun for too long messed things up, and maybe afterwards he was like, "Oh, damn, I totally messed that up. I meant to do it the other way."
People are so incensed though down here. I don't even know if you can understand. I mean, people are dumping friends over political views, family members. It is completely out of control. I do not agree with that. It's insane. It's insanity.
I feel like, you know what, everybody has the right to vote however you want. And if you don't vote, then you can't complain about what's going on. But I don't know if it's worth severing friendships and the families that are no longer speaking to each other because they're divided on things. I feel like it's just too much.
It's a little much to have that much, and I get it. Believe me, I mean, it's an important election, but you just have to be at the same time very respectful of one another's thoughts and opinions. We all are individuals, right?
Yes. You know, you hear about a lot of problems exactly like this, but it's generally over religion, and now politics have become even worse.
Yes, even worse. But hopefully it'll calm down. Hopefully we get this all figured out, and it can just calm down. If not, we're going to Canada, but we're not even allowed to go to Canada right now.
I was gonna say, we've kind of got you blocked out right now.
I know, we can't even escape.
Right, but you know what? We're pretty good about things, so I'm sure if you ask for asylum or something, then I don't think we can deny you, right?
No, we're very nice. I mean, I'll be nice and well mannered, like Canadians. I'll try to fit in.
Yes. It's I'm actually quite amazed of the amount of people 4 years ago were basically saying, no, I'm out if this ever happens. Like, come on, you guys had some time. You could have moved up.
They're never. No, people just say that.
Second.
Empty threat.
That's right. We've got we seem to have an abundance of land up here, and
we sure do.
And it's pretty clean. So. But you have to make sure that when you come in, it's a complete attitude overhaul, right? You got to make sure that we're all happy.
Yes, we have to drink the Canadian. Well, as soon as we get up there, though, we'll start drinking that Canadian water and just be happy and friendly, like every Canadian I have ever met in my entire life.
Right. It's really funny. I was down in Chicago several years back, and I have to tell you, I was really impressed. People were so friendly. It's totally
the Midwest, kind of.
Is that what it is? It's just a Midwest thing. So there are some beautiful areas that people are super happy and friendly about. But I was really interested because I was driving. I was not driving, but I was on the bus, and there was a couple of girls who were talking about how they thought Chicago was so rude and disgusting, and I couldn't help but look over. I'm like, I'm from Canada. I think you guys are fantastic.
That's so nice of you. Chicago's a beautiful city. It's so clean, and you have that Midwest mentality.
Yeah.
There.
And that was the other thing. I could not believe how clean the city was. Like,
so
you could literally eat off the ground. It was so clean. I saw a piece of garbage blowing across the street, and someone ran up, grabbed it, and put it in the garbage can.
So nice.
Which I don't even think you would find up here. Let me tell you, there's a lot of garbage still in some areas. Now, luckily, we've got pretty good employees of the cities and stuff who go out and clean those up, and even some very respectful citizens who go and clean them up. But to
see someone run over and pick up the trash and throw it away.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Right. I mean, I think first of all, you're teaching your kids right. If you've done great, whoever that parent was did an amazing job, and good on them to go out and do this and take it on themselves to pick up some garbage. Now, I thought maybe having watched that garbage blow across the street, though, maybe that's why Chicago's so clean. Maybe it just all blows out to the water.
It's the Windy City. They call it the Windy City, not because of the wind, though. It's because the politicians back in the day were so full of wind and just stuff to say.
It was?
Yeah, that they called it the Windy City because they were just also full of the
hot air.
Yeah, just like full of crap. Yeah, hot air, exactly. Oklahoma is much windier, but that's where that came from.
That is honestly, I haven't been to a lot of places in America, but Oklahoma and Florida and Chicago are definitely 3, and of course I think I've been to New York City, but
That's so random that you were in Oklahoma.
it was the first place I'd ever been to. It was strange. We had some family friends, and we went down there, and it was unlike anything I'd ever been to before.
Right.
What I think got me the most was how everything is deep fried. In
Oh
fact,
yeah.
it was very hard. Like, I ordered toast, and they had fried the toast.
They fried the toast.
They fried the toast, and I think it was fried in chicken fat. But
Oh, that sounds delicious.
it was actually, but I mean, I was thinking, well, it'd be wonderful to have some cereal, but I was like, I don't really know how that's going to come, so I'll just stick with the toast.
You just gotta, when in Rome, you gotta eat what the locals are eating.
That spells a lot of indigestion, I'm sure. But I'm open to a lot of suggestions, so I'm always willing to try out most cuisine at least once.
Yeah, when you're there, you have to.
Exactly. So let's talk about you and what you've been working on. We had spoken briefly, and you had been working on Snow Babies.
Yes.
And it was really funny because when I had seen, and it wasn't the first time I had actually seen the title of Snow Babies come up, and I had to do, of course, some poking in, because when you had said that, I was like, is that right up there with the buddy movies and like all those like little
Christmas
cute little
movie.
animals? And could not be anything from the opposite of a family, fun little talking animal movie. And it's very interesting subject, of course, which I think is very important, where this movie was going, and dealing with addictions, and how seamlessly easy it is to fall into something like this predicament without, of course, even realizing it.
Right.
And it was quite. I didn't unfortunately get to fully watch the film. I did get to start, and life has been a little crazy, but I was really enjoying what I had seen. And it was, I have 2 daughters, and one is, of course, just almost a teenager, and I think it almost becomes every parent's fear when you watch something similar to this, and how easy with other peer pressure and social media and everything that's still out there that will influence your child nowadays, and that's before that you even deal with whatever problems they're having in their own home life and friend lives and everything else. So it was a very interesting subject, and I highly recommend for anybody to go and check it out. It was a great start to the watch, and I was really enjoying it. So I look forward to revisiting it, of course, after after we talk and finishing
Thank
it.
you.
But how did you find that, obviously as a parent yourself, going into that role?
Well, I was very naive going into the role, to be honest with you. I understood drug addiction in a way because, just in personal, seeing, an aunt that had a drug addiction her whole life. And so I kind of understood that, and cocaine abuse and all of that. And I understood that there was an opioid epidemic because I was aware of that. But as far as in the suburbs here in our country, how bad that is. And so Snow Babies, which is, it's spelled SNO for everyone, for heroin. My daughter in the film, who's played by Katie Kelly, and she's fantastic. She is a 16-year-old honor student. She's a straight A student. We're a hardworking family. I'm a real estate agent. My husband's hardworking. And unbeknownst to us, our daughter becomes a heroin addict just from trying an Oxycontin at a party.
Yeah.
And the writer Mike Walsh and the director Bridget Smith interviewed so many teen addicts, and I mean, both recovering and still in rehab right now. And they gave them their stories of how they hid the heroin from their parents, how they shot up. And so a lot of what you see in the film is so graphic and hard to watch, but it's so real.
Yes. Yeah. And in this day and age when with so many different styles of movies out there, and of course a lot of people turn to movies for an escape, right? I mean, it's one of the reasons why people love movies so much, is because you can put yourself in a character that you can associate with, or you'd love to fantasize about associating, like superpowers and space and all these other things. And then there is the real life movies where you almost are afraid to try to associate with them, and also it's a bit of an eye opener as a parent, like how easy it is for kids to get into this. And like you said, she was an honor student, and you would think here's a girl that is clearly smart enough not to do this,
Right, not to try something.
yes,
It's
exactly,
different than what we did. No, just we meaning our generation, or generations before us, where somebody wanted to experiment with something, you could experiment with it, and a lot of times people would be okay. But
yeah,
this is so addictive. The opioids and the opiates are so addictive that
mhm,
it just crosses all demographics and economic divides and gender, age, everything.
yeah, yeah,
And so obviously doesn't discriminate against anyone. And for me, I mean, now my kids both play sports. They're 13 and 14, and they made them, the schools made them watch a video on why you don't need prescribed pain medication if you get injured, because
okay,
they're realizing how addictive that can be. And I have heard so many stories since doing Snow Babies about kids getting addicted to heroin because they started using it because of a field hockey injury
yeah,
or a lacrosse injury. So, and 80% of heroin users start off with opiates.
yeah,
80%.
right. That's just absolutely a crazy the statistics on that. And and it's true, like when you really think about it, like any drug is a gateway drug, right?
Hmm.
Like it's people think that things like cocaine or something like that, it's like, oh, it sharpens your senses, you can be so much, and you're not addicted. It's like, no, 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 it doesn't work like that, because if you've done it a second time, you're already addicted.
Right.
Right?
And if you feel
Yeah,
you need it to tap into your creativity, a lot of our greatest musicians are recovering addicts. I mean, they felt like they couldn't be creative without it, and they
yeah,
realized they could.
yeah,
But it really does, it frees your inhibitions, and maybe it's just, yeah, once you start, then it's just so hard to stop that. And it's just this physical addiction that you have,
yeah,
right? So it's just like, it just grabs onto you and won't let go. But there's hope at the end of the movie. We wanted to make sure that people understood that people do recover. And Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue is really supportive of the film and helped create a great soundtrack for us. And this was
that's
just a
awesome.
little independent film in Philadelphia that we shot. That
Yeah,
it was a little indie film. And then Alan Kovac, who's the manager of Motley Crue and produced The Dirt on Netflix, bought the film, Better Noise Films. And it's great. In London, I just heard it's all over the tube. There's posters. They showed us posters. There's been posters all over uh, the transit system in London.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's
and
really
you've
cool.
got millions of people passing by and looking at these
Yes.
advertisements then, because that is like
Hmm.
one of the craziest transit systems
It
in the world,
is.
is the tube. But so you have also had a bit of a wide variety of characters, of course, that you've played in films, and one of them, of course, being Elementary.
Yeah.
So everybody loves a good old mercenary, which is
A
fantastic.
female.
What do you? Yes, exactly. Well, the femme fatale, it's all
That's
the
the
big thing now,
title.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. When you are playing like such a different variety of characters, do you? I know that the whole purpose is to get into that moment and get into that character. Is there a certain character you found either exciting or just like it was so far from what you would normally be in a real life that you just really enjoyed?
Yeah, I mean, I started acting about 6 years ago, so it's not like I've had years and years of experience with different characters, but I have been lucky enough to play a lot of really great characters. And
Yeah.
I think we can tap into anything, even if someone's hasn't experienced it. You can kind of tap into that emotion that maybe they're feeling.
Hmm.
So even though I've never been a female mercenary, uh,
What?
I have been angry and would like and would like to kick someone's ass sometimes. So you can kind
Yes.
of like tap into those types of emotions to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Everybody has been in that moment, whether you're waiting in line in the store and someone's being a complete jerk in front of you, and you're just
Yeah.
like, if I had the hand of God, or those moments where you have road rage where you could just like clear traffic or something. So
Yes.
I think that's one of the beautiful things about the industry is for an actress that you are, if you're lucky enough to have such a variety of parts that you can kind of, it's like some people say with video games, you choose not to live one life but many lives,
Yes,
and to be part of these characters is really cool. So
it
from
is.
a mom to a mercenary to and of course you are also a musician
Hmm.
in real life, right? So
Yes,
you're really crossing all the arts, as it were.
all the arts. I mean, I'm not a great musician, but I can play.
That's what every musician says.
I'm really not. I can play guitar and piano. That's how I write music, is with guitar. It's hard
Yeah.
for me to write songs on a piano, but yeah, I think just having that outlet and being around creative people. I didn't have that. I moved to a little suburb outside of Philly, and the people here are awesome. I've been here for 18 years, but I was in Colorado for a while, and there were a lot of artists out there, and I lived in LA for a little bit, and I missed that. It's really important for us. I think even if you don't know you're creative or think you're creative, just to get around some people that are just so, what is it, uninhibited, and just
Yeah.
kind of let go, and then it's really a great experience, even for people that are more engineer like, or mathematical. That's creative too,
Yes.
in a way.
Yeah. And it's actually, I always find it very interesting when there's a cross of mediums where you end up having someone who is very mathematically inclined and they create a piece of art or something.
Yeah,
And when there's so many different layers of depth to the piece they've created is just
it's
beautiful.
fascinating.
And
Have you seen the guy that creates everything with Legos? Are you familiar with that artist?
No.
I don't know
No.
if he's been up into Canada, but he toured the museums down here in the
Okay.
States, and he was a lawyer, and he was hating it, like as many lawyers do. You just work your butt off, and he just felt like he needed to do something creative, and he just started. I don't know if he had a little boy, or he just started, or a child just started working with Legos.
Yeah.
You should see what this guy has created. I mean, he is commissioned by museums. I mean, I'm talking Tyrannosaurus Rex size Lego statues, and just unbelievable. And he had no idea he was even a creatively inclined person.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing, where people can come up with these slight new talents without even really knowing.
yeah, you always wonder what people have that they Jimmy Page didn't even know he could play guitar, and he went into a house that his parents bought him, and it was there was just a random guitar in the corner that was left behind, and he just picked it up. And Jimmy Page, he didn't, otherwise he would have never picked up a guitar, he said.
Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. We actually had Jimmy on the show, so it's
Jimmy Page. You did?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep. So he's
that's pretty cool.
Wonderful person. We got a hi from Tina Marie, who's one of our viewers right now.
Hi, Tina Marie. Tina Marie. Oh yeah, hi.
Marie. Yeah. So thanks. Hi, Tina. So amongst everything that you do, what is so we've just come out of October, which is Halloween, which was a big thing. We did something very, very different, and we had lots of actors and actresses from the Halloween themed movies. And as we are slowly moving into Christmas, and a little pitch, because you have an upcoming Christmas film as well. Yeah. What is a Christmas tradition for you?
Oh, Christmas tradition. Well, okay, so we always watch A Christmas Story.
Okay.
For sure. We watch that on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And I love It's a Wonderful Life. I try to get my kids into that, but it's the black and white thing. And I'm like, Jimmy Stewart's amazing. So trying to build on that. But Christmas tradition is definitely watching A Christmas Story and Elf, and just making hot chocolate and decorating the tree with my Christmas Barbra Streisand, the Christmas album.
Yeah.
It's such a great Christmas album.
It is. Yeah. It's been floating around there forever. So I think my mother always she plays that amongst a few of the other classics that are
it's definitely our moms. We're so into Barbra Streisand, weren't they?
Yeah. So that's good. That's excellent. Are you looking forward to it? I mean, with everything that is kind of going on right now, it'd be kind of nice maybe to show a little bit more festivity and positivity that's going on. I mean, I guess there's a big worry about like postal workers and whether or not families can end up having large groups together.
Right. Because our numbers are going up. I think today we had 100,000 new cases of COVID. It's the single biggest day of COVID.
Wow. We had 2
in the States. Excuse me.
We had 2.
Yeah, 2. We had 100,000.
Right.
So I think everyone, I mean, I actually went to Home Goods the other day with my daughter, and we tortured my husband because he was with us. We bought a bunch of Christmas stuff just to decorate our house with. And I'm not normally that big into decorating, but
Yep.
I feel like we need that.
Yes.
We just need to have some positivity and Christmas music and some escapism, like what you were saying earlier with movies. We just need to watch Hallmark movies and just chill out.
I'm really hoping that this year, like I get a little dismayed with the amount of commercialization of Christmas, and it's kind of like, Valentine's Day, where you have to have a gift to say you love someone. And I'm really hoping this will be a Christmas where people can kind of go back to what the meaning of Christmas is, and family, and spending time with one another without there being a majority of gifts out there. And it's very hard, even as my kids get older, to let them know, like, it's not about material possessions, it's not about gifts, it's about spending time with one another. And that's kind of like the childhood I grew up with a lot of my family. We'd all get together, and it was playing games and having eggnog and dressing the tree, and those were the fun times. And
those are beautiful times to remember.
Yeah. So we're a bit of a house decorating family here. We really like to, when you walk in the front door, it instantly feels like Christmas, and that's
I love that.
And we super love it. Every year, it's as the man of the house, it's a real nightmare because I have to go dig the stuff out.
Oh yeah, and icy ground.
Right, and you got to like bust your back to get all the bins of decorations out, and then when it comes time to clean up, suddenly there's nobody around in the new year to want to help you clean up.
Exactly.
So
yes,
so it's always it's one of those love-hate things, is decorating around the house. It's one of those things that you really feel the warmth of the holiday season when you have the decorations up, but at the same time, the last thing you want to do when it's over is put it all away.
Yeah, or see anything Christmas. If I see anything Christmas after it's over, it just kind of, maybe because it just bums you out that it's over. Yeah. My husband is such a Grinch. He's gotten much better through the 20 years that we've been together. But his mom, like, as soon as Thanksgiving was over, she's like, okay, here comes the Christmas stuff. And that is exactly how she talks. Yeah. And so it was just like Christmas. And she would just buy all sorts of things he didn't want. Or his sister, my first Christmas with them, they came to Denver to visit us. I had never met them. And I'm like, y'all are horrible to your parents. I mean, because Carl was like, thanks, Mom. A shirt I'll never wear. Like, at this point, he was just so angry about just all of the gifts. And she's so sweet. And he's told her so many times not to buy him like things. So it stresses him out. So he's gotten much better through the years because now that we have kids.
Yes.
So he gets on board.
Kids, you can't be, you can't have a poor attitude on Christmas. You can't be that Grinch around the kids of Christmas, because in my house, if that happens, my wife would make sure that my kids call me the Grinch. Like, she'd be like, no, look at him. Here's the movie. This is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, this is you. I know. And his mother's fine though. Carl, my husband, he's told her, and I've heard her say, you can't stop Santa. Yeah. In her mind, that's what she's thinking. So it makes her happy, and the kids like it.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well, I'm again, I hope that things are going well, and things either start clearing up, shaping up, or if not, at least everybody, stick together and have that wonderful Christmas together. And
it's a day-by-day situation. That's how for me, it's like, and for a lot of people that I know, what we have to do is we literally have to take everything day by day. And through all of this, we don't take things for granted. We've had so much more time with our families. Americans move so fast. We're so busy, and it's made us really slow down, I think. And I actually think people are kinder to one another. Yeah. People like to say that we're all so different, or that there's infighting, and that does happen. But I find, for the most part, people have been very kind to one another, and just, I don't know.
A little bit, right? After the looting, after the people hoarding toilet paper, then people realize, and you know what? I think it was the people who didn't have toilet paper who realized this is ridiculous. We need to start being nicer to each other. And then
it's that pack mentality. I think that with the Riot mentality, maybe somebody wouldn't normally do something like that, but they get set they're in the middle of a riot or something. People grabbing toilet paper, and suddenly you start getting frenetic, and it's just a psychological thing. Like I don't know. I've never been in a situation where there's a riot over toilet paper. Maybe I would start grabbing the toilet paper.
Right.
I'm like, what do they know that I don't?
Yeah, yeah. It's really funny. When that all happened, and toilet paper was very scarce here. And let me tell you, when you have a household with 3 women in it,
Yeah.
that means there is not a lot of toilet paper for the man in the house.
I know, I hear that from my husband every single day, I swear.
Yeah. But we had, like I was almost repulsed by the people that were hoarding toilet paper. And I was just like, listen, and it's really funny because there's a guy out there who did the math. If someone went to Costco and bought a single pack of their toilet paper, how many times you would have to go in a day to actually use all that toilet paper?
How
Was
many
something like
times?
was like 208 times a day to use that toilet paper in a month.
Wow. That's how long
So
it lasts.
yeah, so and he was like saying, oh, he was even being liberal, like saying, oh, okay, well, women would on average use somewhere between 5 and 10 pieces,
Sheets.
and yeah, sheets, and he really had some great math. It's really funny how he calculates everything, and
That's
at the
good.
end, it was like it made a lot of sense. And then I was just like, every time I went into a Costco, I'm like, you don't need 2 of those things. Put one back,
Put it back, you stingy person.
right? You're a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then of course there were people online up here that were trying to sell a single roll of toilet paper for $15.
25 bucks. How
Well, it's
much?
15.
Okay.
But even then, I felt like messaging them and saying I would sooner use a sock than spend $15 on your crappy one-ply toilet paper.
Right. You're like price gouging.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So it happened, whether it was US or Canada, it still happened up here.
It was happening in Australia.
Yeah.
That's where it was really bad at one point.
Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know.
And they're
I
so
think,
Sweet. Australians are fun. Like,
yeah,
that's not normally their behavior.
that's right. Unless they run out of beer or toilet paper, apparently.
Exactly. Or they think you're cheating in a pool game. When my husband got stuck in a bar fight in Australia, he said
Oh no.
they were like hitting each other with cubes, and it was all over.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but he said it was fun.
People do that with a pool noodle and say it's fun, not generally with a cube, but
Yeah.
Well, how about we jump over in the next part of our show and we're going to do our slightly slower than average rapid fire questions.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna fill in for Matty G here. This is normally his deal, but hopefully I don't mess it up. So question number 1, what made up word would you register into the English language?
Flippin' floppin'.
Yeah, okay. Do you have a definition for that?
Excuse me, a
Do you have a
definition?
definition?
I don't know. I just feel like, flipping I don't know.
It's
Sometimes
flippity
in the bed, I'm flipping and flopping. I don't even know why I said the
okay,
bed.
that
I'm
works.
like
That works.
tossing and turning.
Yeah. No, let's be honest. Nobody toss and turn anymore. They always flip and flop.
Yeah, they're flipping and flopping.
What is the scariest dream you've ever had?
Oh, I had a horrible one last night. It was horrible.
Do
But
tell.
but I won't go to that one because that was really messed up.
Right.
I had a recurring dream that this giant bumblebee kept chasing me around.
Giant bumblebee.
Yeah.
That's legit.
I know,
have
it
a
was
tendency
really
to get a
scary.
little allergic, so I wouldn't want a giant bumblebee scaring or chasing me.
Yeah.
If you could have a superpower, which one would you like?
I'd like to be invisible.
Invisible. You know how it's very interesting how many actors and actresses say invisibility.
Really?
It's like, really, for all the people who like to be on screen, you'd want to be invisible. It's all so ironic.
Because we're actually probably pretty shy people. We're usually pretty shy, actually.
Well, it's great if you ever have to visit the bank. So
Yes.
what is your earliest childhood memory?
I remember being in my crib in this apartment. My parents had a 1-bedroom apartment that I shared with them in Houston near the Hobby Airport. The planes were going over, and I remember I was describing it to my mom years ago. I'm like, the door and this, and she's like, yeah. So I remember that.
Wow, that's good. That goes back pretty far.
Yeah.
Thanks to television, I can't remember what happened 10 minutes ago. What foreign language would you like to learn?
I would like to know Spanish, but I know a little bit of Spanish, but I would like to really know that and be bilingual.
Yeah, I've heard that it's actually a fantastic second language to know down in the U.S. nowadays. So up
Yes.
here it's French.
French
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Yeah. True French is maybe. Canadian French isn't as exciting, I think.
Only you can say that because you're from Canada.
No, I'm pretty sure any of my French friends are going to want to kick my butt now. So it'll come back at me. I know it will. If you could live in another decade, which decade would you choose?
I would love to live in the 20s, like the roaring 20s, where
Okay.
women could smoke cigarettes and have and drink, and you didn't have any guilt about it. And
Yes. Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
be fantastic.
That's
The
fantastic.
clothes, I would love that.
Yes, I like the clothes from that time
Mm-hmm.
period as well. I think I was born in the wrong age sometimes, so
Yeah.
I love a good old Sinatra and jazz music and everything.
Oh,
So
the dancing, and the men, all the men could dance, and it
yes,
was okay that they danced.
that's right. Yeah, and you weren't ridiculed for being a white guy who can't dance very well. So
That's right.
that happens. Do you have a go-to joke?
I really don't like jokes because I never get them. When people are like, I've got a joke, because I bartended and people were always giving riddles, and I was like, I never. So no, I don't really have a.
You're like, just give me my damn drink.
I can't even remember those. Yeah, because I can't remember. I don't get them.
Okay, that's fair. What was the first movie that made you cry?
Oh, I guess the first one that's popping into my head is E.T.
Oh, really?
But I'm sure there were some before that.
That movie scared the crap out of me.
Did it?
Yeah, I had reoccurring dreams for like 8 years of nightmares of ET.
Of you coming upon an alien?
About thousands of little ETs trying to eat my skin, actually.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that was a fun one. Don't have that anymore, thank goodness.
Yeah. Sorry, I brought back that traumatic memory.
Yeah. We'll see how tonight goes. Speaking of which, do you believe in aliens?
I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that there's nothing else out there when this universe is so vast.
Yes. Yeah. I would like to believe that I am not that ignorant to think that I am the only thing, or we're the only species out there. So.
Yeah, I just feel like there's got to be something else out there.
Yes, for sure. How would you spend $100 million?
How would I spend it? I would give a ton to foster care.
Wonderful.
And help with that, and the education system in inner city schools here in the United States, which are so disproportionate. And I would definitely just travel all the time and just, homeschool my kids, and we just go everywhere.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. If Peter wouldn't get in your case, what exotic animal would you like to domesticate?
If Peter wouldn't get in my case, that's funny. Yeah. I would like, oh gosh, I don't know, I guess like a tiger or something. That'd be pretty cool.
It's popular. Yeah, I was gonna say, ever since the whole Tiger King,
an elephant, if I had a space for it. I really like elephants.
The only problem about it is you get these big animals in, someone's got to clean up after them.
Yeah, I would be able to, because I have $100 million. That would be fine.
Oh, okay, yeah. You got a dedicated poo shoveler for that money. It's true. What gets on your nerves?
Oh my God, a lot of things. I try to not be so aware. The other day, a Subaru cut me off, and then the license plate said hippos. So I hate when people cut me off. A lot of times it's Subaru drivers. I don't know why. Ellen DeGeneres did a stand-up on it. And I'm like, oh my God, I could have written what she just said. So that gets on my nerves. And just overall, just really bad manners. I just can't stand when I go into a store or something and they don't say hello.
Yeah, that's true. It's really weird because that's changed over the years. That used to be the thing in retail, that you always had to greet someone when they came in.
Yeah.
And then it got, of course, yeah. And it's always like just a nice, friendly welcome instead of like making it look like you're walking in and bothering them from slacking or whatever they're doing. But then it got to a point where people that would walk into a store would feel harassed instantly if someone said, "Hi, how are you?" And people were just like, no, I'm good. I'm just looking. So so it's weird, right? I mean, I would still prefer people saying hi.
A friendly hello.
Yeah, exactly. Don't ask if you can help me yet, but at least say hello.
Yeah, it's just a nice greeting. Just in general, just greet people.
Yes, for sure. What is the last thing you did just for yourself?
Today, I bought some things at Ulta. It's a makeup place. And I got my eyebrows tweezed.
They look fantastic.
Can you tell? Because I knew I would be seeing you. So
that's fantastic. Oh, it was so nice to put the extra effort in. That's wonderful. I don't get that often.
I'll bill you later.
Yeah, right. Send it to management. If you could eliminate a holiday from the calendar, which one would you choose?
I like all the holidays. I don't think I would eliminate any of them. I love Thanksgiving and
Okay.
I guess Columbus Day.
That's right. You have that down there. We don't have that. Yeah.
Because Christopher Columbus really wasn't that nice of a guy. So I guess I would eliminate, if I had to eliminate one of them, it would be that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Considering the things that he's done in his life, yep, I can see why.
Yeah.
When you can't fall asleep, what do you do?
That happens a lot. I usually just try to just not freak out about it. Usually I can't fall asleep if I have to be up the next day and I have to look good. So that, because when I'm tired, it shows immediately. It always has. So
Murphy's Law. Yeah.
Yeah. But if I can't sleep, if I don't have to be anywhere the next day, I'll just I'll just go downstairs and start watching television, because it's worse to just sit there for me and just try to battle through insomnia.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nothing more annoying than when you can't sleep, that you actually try to force yourself to sleep. Then yeah, you get free. I'm pretty sure that's why people go crazy sometimes.
Yeah. It's terrible when bouts of insomnia are horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you have to figure out why you're having it. You know, a lot of times it's just stress you may not even realize you're having.
Yep, for sure. I think I've lived most of my life wondering about the stress that I apparently have that I'm not even aware of. So.
I know.
What activity you do that makes you totally lose track of time?
Tennis. I love to play tennis. It's
excellent.
my favorite. I just love it. I just started playing it probably 3 years ago. Okay. I've always played sports, but I could play that all day long.
That's fun. Yeah, it's like the world's largest game of ping pong.
Yeah.
I actually used to play tennis back in high school, and I really enjoyed it. And for some reason, cool. I kind of guess I moved to squash or something, and it was over. So
squash is fun too.
I'm sure I got a racket around somewhere. What is the best thing you've ever eaten?
I just my favorite thing and the best thing I've ever eaten are enchiladas and chili con queso at my favorite Mexican restaurant in Houston called Tony's.
Shout out to Tony's.
Yeah, Tony's Mexican restaurant on Ella Boulevard. It is just so good.
Excellent. Tony's, if you're listening, we clearly need to make sure we get Shannan a free meal out of this. So
yeah, definitely.
Yep. That's very cool. I'm a huge Mexican food fan. So have you ever had a crush on a fictional character? And on a fictional character. So it could be someone from a movie or a book or a comic book or whatever.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yes, of course. I mean, Brad Pitt, when he played Tristan in Legends of the Fall.
I
still have a crush on him.
Do you?
Oh my God. He like Tristan, he fought bears. He was married to a, indigenous person, like a Native American. He's just so cool.
Yeah.
Him and Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing. Yeah, I still have if that's on, either of those are on, I just watch it. My husband's like, "Are you watching?" What?
Was he together with Patrick Swayze dancing? No, just kidding.
No, but that would be very interesting. He would have a better body.
Every woman's dream. Put those two together. It's actually really funny you mentioned from Legend of the Fall, because that was the first movie I noticed that for years when Brad Pitt was brought into a scene, he was always eating something.
That's true.
There must have been some type of study that people or women in general were attracted to Brad Pitt eating something. So I think there was about 15 to 20 movies around that. Every time he walks in or every time the camera pans onto him, he's eating something.
Because I think he was eating something in True Romance and different. Yeah, that's so. Thelma and Louise, I think he was eating
an apple. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because he had these like big full lips, so he's probably like, he's still. If I encountered Brad Pitt, I would just. He's so cute to me. You're cute too. I mean, you're also as cute as Brad Pitt. So.
Oh, flattery gets you everywhere. Have you ever? Oh, sorry. We actually have one question left. Known that went by really quick. The last question is, what is your favorite podcast you've been on the last 12 hours?
Yours.
Hey,
it's freaking awesome.
Yeah. Well, it has been wonderful having you on the show. Do you have any social medias, any charities, anything you're working on that you're passionate about that you'd like people to know?
Yeah, I mean, I have, you can go onto my website at Shannan, SHANNAN Wilson.com. And that has lots of things. And then for charities, I do a lot of things with NICUs, neonatal intensive care units. So, yeah.
Someone has to think of the children.
Yes, they do.
Wonderful. Well, we'll make sure to any of our listeners that, of course, haven't been able to watch the live feed with Shannan Wilson or listening to this on the road. If you want to jump over to our website and go to the guest page, we'll have a lovely photograph of Shannan there, as well as any links to her social media or websites. So if anybody needs to get in touch with her, put her in the next show, and or are interested in supporting any charities that she's interested in, like NICU, we'll have a link where you can get to that. So.
Yeah, I would love that. I'll definitely, you put me on, I couldn't think of anything, but there's, Caring Hearts helps parents with, where I'm involved with them. They help children with whose parents with AIDS. So there's some great stuff.
Fantastic. Okay, excellent. Well, again, we've appreciated having you on the show. We'd love to circle back around with you and have you again, maybe in the new year at some point.
Definitely.
And, we can talk about the Christmas movie as it gets a little closer.
Yeah, and I have a Netflix thing coming out too, so that we can come back and talk about that later.
That's right. Oh, that's right. You've got something you're working on with Bill Pullman.
Well, that hasn't been released or announced. I don't know.
Okay. NDAs. We won't say anything. Whoops.
Yeah, I don't think not Bill Pullman. Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Wonderful. Yes. I love Ewan McGregor. So
I know he's great.
He was, you know what? I loved him even before he played Obi-Wan Kenobi, and now he's kind of locked in there. So
yeah, he's super sweet. So I think you meant to say that, not Bill Pullman.
Yes,
I would love to work with Bill Pullman. We'll see what maybe in the future.
That's true. Yeah, I can't wait. So excellent. Well, I'd love to talk to you more about that when that comes a little bit more available to talk about, of course, as it's still new. And again, we'd love to have you back in the new year.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for spending a little bit of time with us today.
Of course. Bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Thanks.